Amber from The Training Tool, and I want to teach you today about how to actually build a butt if that is your goal or one of your goals and why you're coming to the gym. One thing I see on the internet all the time are these little exercises that they say how to build a butt, how to have a better butt, and they're these tiny little exercises with little to no weight that actually in the long run are not going to help you build a butt if that's what you're trying to do. So keep in mind that your gluteus maximus is a huge muscle. We have the gluteus maximus, the gluteus minimus, and the gluteus medius. And in order for you to build muscle, to actually have a little bit bigger butt, if that's what you're going for, you have to, number one, be lifting heavier weights, and number two, you need to be eating a diet that supports muscle build. And a diet that supports muscle build means that you're going to be eating more calories than you would to just maintain your weight. So there's a possibility that you'll gain a little body fat while you're trying to build your muscle, but you have to do that in order to get more muscle. And if you want a bigger butt, you got to have a bigger muscle. So I'm going to show you 4 basic exercises that you need to add to your repertoire when you go into the gym. You need to start working on lifting with heavier weights. So first of all, we know the squat is one of the first ones. And I want to say this to you. If you're a lady, our legs tend to be stronger than our upper body is. So we can actually push a lot more weight with our lower body than a lot of times we think we can. And the second thing I want to say to you is this. Think about how much you weigh. Your legs carry that around all day long. And if you do anything where you jump or run or do anything with power through your lower body is taking about 3 times your weight every time you do something like that. So if you're squatting 10-pound dumbbells, what is that doing for your legs and your butt? They carry your body weight around all day. That is nothing to them. So you really need to start looking at how much weight you're lifting. Are you really challenging your muscles and encouraging them to grow and to get tighter? Because if you want to have tighter legs and a tighter butt, we got to get those muscles tighter, and you got to do that with heavier weight. Now, I will say this, if you have any kind of knee issues, back issues, hip issues, you need to get those seen about first before you go into lifting the heavier weights. I don't want you to do anything that's going to injure you, and you also need to do weights through a progression. So I didn't start out at these really heavy weights where I am now. I started low, I got my form correct, and then from there I began building my weights up every time that I went to the gym. So let's go over those 4 exercises. I have just an Olympic bar here. This Olympic bar, which you will see in the gym, weighs 45 pounds. This is fairly easy for me, but for videoing purposes, I'm going to keep it easy so I can still talk to you. So in the gym, I typically load this up with way more weights, and then I'm going to do my regular squats. Couple of tips. Bring your hands in a little bit closer, pull down on the bar, and point your elbows towards the ground. Engage the abdominals. Take a nice deep breath in, squat it down, and then explode out and blow that air out. So one thing that I've started doing is really slowing down my squats and making sure that I'm using my breath to help me into and out of my squats. Deep breath in here, small hold with those abs in, exhale and push it back up. So when I'm training by myself and I get down to the bottom with that heavier weight, sometimes I really need a little help out of the pocket or out of the bottom, and that exhale helps me to get up. That's exercise number 1. Number 2, I'm going to take you through into deadlifts. There's several different ways that you can do deadlifts, and I'm just going to use the bar here, and I'm just going to show you a bent knee deadlift going down. Typically, you'd have weights on the side so you don't have to go down as far to the floor. If you can't handle the weights on the side, you can also put the plate weights on the ground and lift your bar up off of the floor so that you don't have to be way down here to start. It helps if you can kind of start from about right here. So my feet are about hip shoulder distance apart. I've got an overhand grip. My belly button is pulled in, and I'm going to explode out of the bottom. I'm going to come down slowly, pause at the bottom, and then explode back up. Again, with my breath. Breathing makes all the difference. Now, some people like to wear belts around their waist. whenever they do squats and deadlifts, especially when they go heavy. I'm going to tell you that I don't wear a belt. I instead want to keep my core engaged. What happens when you wear that belt is you're told to push out against the belt, which that's not really helping you engage your core. I want to have more core strength while I'm doing these exercises. So if that means I have to lighten my weight a little bit to do it without a belt, that's how I personally do it. And that's why I want a little bit more core strength. Now this bar is really long and I'm close to the wall, so I'm going to trade that out. But normally I would do my bridges with that and weight added on the side. Find a bench, and what you're going to do is put that bar across your waist. Now here's a little tip. I don't have it with me today, but I use a squat sponge that I got online from Amazon, and it goes onto that bar. It is very thick, so as you start to lift heavier weights, that pressure on your pelvis does not feel good from the bar. The squat sponge is wonderful to help with that. I always use it. Don't use it for squats though, it's too big, but do use it for your bridges. So find a flat bench, and what you're going to do is come down to your shoulders. That bar is going to be right over your pubic bone, right over the pelvis, belly button in. My shoulders are here. I'm going to lift, squeeze the butt, slowly lower that butt to the ground, and then explode out. Squeeze the tush. These are great. When I come up to the top, I am squeezing tightly, really engaging those glute muscles. Now in the gym, when I do this, I usually have to come back down, let that bar come to the floor and roll it off of me. It is a little precarious getting into position for that, but once you practice it, you'll get adjusted and it gets easier as you practice. And the next exercise for lifting the booty and building some muscles, get you some heavy dumbbells. That flat bench that you just did your bridges on, we're gonna do step-ups. So, again, you can do step-ups in all different variations. I'm just starting you out with the basics here. Stepping it up, controlling it down. Holding those dumbbells by the side, my shoulder blades are stable, my chest is up, my belly button is in. So now I'm going to change feet. I'm going to step up right, left, down, right, left. Nice and controlled. Notice I'm not just letting myself drop to the ground, okay? So there you go. 4 basic exercises that are going to help you build your booty. So all those other little tiny things that you see people doing with just body weight, yeah, you can do those as supplements, but if you really want to build your booty, you've got to really be focused on a little bit heavier weight and adjusting your diet for muscle build. If you have any questions, shoot me an email, thetrainingtool@hotmail.com. Have a great day.